Hello, guys. So I cannot believe that I am actually still doing this. There is a huge tendency, I know myself, like a lot, of me to kind of like just start a project and then abandoning it halfway through. Because some of the projects that I jump into are obviously outside of my comfort zone, and when it's outside of my comfort zone, I'm gonna have a lot of resistance within me. And of course, in doing this, right, there is gonna be negative feedback. There is gonna be negative comments, and with line 5 in my chart, I kind of like expect that to happen already. I mentally prepare myself for that to happen. But of course, when it comes to my face, it's not gonna feel great. But yeah, anyway, I am still here for some reason, and I feel like that's because I have a lot of support, which is I am really grateful for, and all these people really help me to anchor it in and not let the negative feedback like kind of like get to me. So if you're watching this and you have supported me, whether by subscribing or like just and also like verbalizing it, sharing with me, giving me strength, giving me support. I am really grateful, and I need to say like I really need them. I really need them. So really, thank you very much, and I want to say especially thank you to Tanya and Tiffany just right off the right off my head, because I feel like I have shared my channel with them. Um, Even before I announced it to more people around me and in my Instagram page. So, thank you for being here from the start till now. I am really very grateful. So, anyway, today is it's just gonna be a casual vlog lah. So I know that I'm gonna continue doing this, but I actually have no idea on like the frequency, the content. Well, I do have like kind of have an idea of what content I want to share, but of course I want to like curate it. I want to make it more clear cut, more just more straightforward and easy to understand. So I'm still giving thoughts to them, and I'm in the midst of like writing stuff that I want to talk about for my first episode. Not first episode, not gonna be episode anymore. It's just gonna be share. So anyway, um, yeah, kind of just lost it right there. Anyway, I have decided to share, one video almost like once a week or once every 2 weeks. We'll see, depending on how much content I need to curate, I need to write up. But for now, I just want to share about my this week. So for vlog style of videos, please bear with me if you're watching this, because I'm not gonna curate it very much. It's just gonna be free flow, and to be honest, it feels like a therapy session for me. It feels like really therapeutic to just speak my mind. And of course, on some parts, it's gonna be scary, because even like when I have friends, a lot of friends where the usual meetup is kind of like on a one-on-one basis. So I kind of like, you know, um, edit my share depending on who is it. So to be honest, doing this, putting it out there, and knowing that tons of people are gonna watch and listen to this, I can even feel like some of the people in their head is like, hey, she didn't share this kind of like info with me. Like, how I actually didn't know she's like this. I didn't know that she's into this. Like, I can hear all of them having these thoughts in their head. But oh well, which is why it is scary. But at the same time, technically nobody's in front of me except for this camera. So technically, I'm also speaking to myself. So it's liberating but scary at the same time. But anyway, I just want to share like this week has been tough, so to say. It's been tough for a while now, actually. I don't know what's the energies going up in the sky anymore. From the start of the year, I've been like, watching videos from like Maria, from like Lee Harris Energy, recommended by some people that talks about the energies for this year, for this month. And I kind of like, abandon that now because it just feels tough lah. Like I know my own astral chart. I know that the tough period is gonna keep going for a while. So I don't know. It's kind of like one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Like just feel into myself. So tough emotions. I'm still processing it. Just be with it. That's the most I can do. But this week, I would say the inner critic has been on full blast. Um, like really on full blast. Like telling me how useless I am, how thoughtless, or how, you know, not good. I don't have like the word doesn't just come, just doesn't come to me right now. Like I'm just basically useless and like not me telling myself, but my inner critic telling me that I'm useless and I'm not being productive and I am basically dumb to believe that I can walk a different path than what I used to do, which is working for someone else, like putting my faith in the hands of someone else because I'm not good enough to do my own thing. I'm not good enough for uh source or like beings to carry me, however you want to say it. But I mean it all these voices feel really real to me and of course not unfamiliar. Especially I feel like whenever I'm in this space where I fall into this pit or whatever, or whenever I bump into obstacles, I always feel like this voice will come up telling me how dumb I am, and all of the evidence around me are basically showing me how stupid I am to be on this path. But this time around, strangely, it feels like I have more discernment. It feels like I know that it is the voice of my inner critic. It is the voice of probably somebody that's close to me that I have like, internalized that voice in me and it becomes my inner critic. Um, yeah. Of course, if you want to go on to the full path of like how do you do parts work, how do you do shadow work, I feel like there is definitely a way to integrate the voice, give love to the voice, even so. Just to sidetrack, like I have been on courses before with coaches that say to ignore this voice, to cuss out this voice. I don't believe it. I believe in doing shadow work. I believe in doing parts work, in integrating all of this voice. But right now, while as tough as it is, I am celebrating. I am celebrating that the ability in me to recognize that this is not my voice. This is just a part of me that is, or rather, this is just somebody else's voice that I have internalized and not believing in everything that it's telling me. It didn't feel great, of course. Like, whenever this voice started scolding me or started reprimanding me, my body has all of this reaction, like the usual reaction, like I'm this little child, I'm this little girl of being blamed, and I just like the image I see is like I'm being like reprimanded so much that I just go sulk and go cry in one corner, taking all of these messages in. Like it felt like that in my body, but somehow in my mind right now I have this discernment that it is just the inner critic at work. But I also want to share this thing that I have this realization probably a few months ago when I've been going through the dark night of my soul. That which I feel like it wasn't well said or well explained I'm definitely gonna put this in my future videos, but I just want to share a little bit of like, when you sit down to set an intention, um, for manifestation of a certain dream, of a certain path, or even just a new you, the first thing, or at least the first few things that's gonna come up are your blocks. But then I always feel like I feel like this is known. This is known. It's kind of like, nah, this is the things that you need to clear before you can move into that path. But I feel like not what is not well explained or well put out is that it can be like things like this, like, you know, my inner critic, or like experiences that just pull you all the way back. But when I'm sorry, this is not going to be well explained, but I'll try my best. But the thing is, when we try to set an intention for a certain thing that when we want to manifest, right? People will say like, you know, keep a positive focus on the good things, and then you will attract the right thing. But no, it is not linear, because I always feel like whenever I set an intention, the first thing that came into my realm are all of the bad things, and it is very easily that you'll be swiped into this space of like, you know what, if I am what I attract, all of this are showing me that I'm unable to do it. I can't. And which is why I feel like the usual way of what people, you know, teach out there are just not easy to follow. Or even some may go to the extent of like, wow, I think I'm just not focusing positive enough. Let me be more disciplined some more. But the more you do that, the more you cast out your shadow. And it's not gonna work that way, because your shadow, your unconscious, has a part to play in your vibration that is ultimately going to attract, you know, have an impact on your reality that you're gonna attract in. Again, this is not well explained. I'm gonna have a thought about how to explain this better. But if you get what I mean, maybe you already know, maybe you don't. Because ultimately knowing and going through it, is having a lived experience, is very different. And I have to say, it has been tough, it has been difficult for me, but it's also kind of like, the more I practice, the more I live it, the more I understand it. And it's not as easy as like, you know, like hearing the explanation from someone else, even though it does help. It does help sometimes. Yeah, that's gonna be my ramble for now. Thank you for listening if you are.